Welcome and good morning. My name is Lori Lessner and I'm the lay worship leader this morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to the First Parish Unitarian Universalist Church in Bridgewater. I've been a member here for about 12 years, I think. The pictures don't go back that far, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly when because nothing is written down, of course. And I serve on the parish committee and the events committee. And what I like most about First Parish is, yes, we are a welcoming congregation, and this service is put on by the Welcoming Congregation Renewal Committee. But more than just welcoming new people, we want new people. We appreciate the diversity that other people and other cultures and races bring to our community, and we learn and we grow, and that's a good thing. So First Parish is a welcoming congregation. We proudly fly the rainbow flag to symbolize our welcome to people of every description. We have a dynamic religious education program which takes place in the lower parish hall during the worship. If you're new to First Parish, we hope you enjoy your visit with us. We encourage you to sign the guest book at the table at the rear of the sanctuary. And if you wish to receive our monthly newsletter, please be sure to include your email address. If you're joining us online, you can request to be put on our mailing list at our website or in the chat. We invite you to join us for coffee, snacks, and conversation outside in the lower courtyard following the service, and the coffee will be good. Quint made it. Thank you, Quint. Our service this morning is being hosted via Zoom and recorded for Bridgewater Cable TV, but the cameras are turned off during the sharing of joys and sorrows. In case of an emergency, please leave the building either through the main sanctuary doors or through the School Street entrance if you need a ramp. You are welcome here. Thank you for joining us. Your presence, whether in person or online, makes a difference. And I do have a couple of announcements. Reverend Rachel invites you all, including families and children, to attend an indoor event in East Bridgewater on the Town Common this afternoon. This is the East Bridgewater Community Coalition for Change's second annual celebration of multiculturalism. It will take place from 3 to 7 p.m. There will be food, speakers, and performers. Reverend Rachel will be speaking briefly around 3 p.m., offering words of welcome. And you might notice that it is the Bridgewater Bridgewater Town Common. Oh, I'm so sorry, East Bridgewater. Wow, that kind of slipped my mind. You might notice that some of us are wearing orange shirts today. That's because the Alliance for Gun Responsibility is asking people to wear orange shirts this weekend from June 3rd to 5th to advocate for sensible gun control. They held a rally in Washington State on Friday and are asking people to symbolically support them by wearing orange shirts. They have a website where you can download a small sign or print out and hold up saying, "Gun violence is preventable, wear orange." Then you can take a picture of yourself in the shirt holding the sign and send it to this organization, Alliance of Gun Responsibility. And you may ask Reverend Rachel after the service for more information. And now we have our prelude. Thank you, Tony. And now we're going to have our chalice lighting. I'd like to invite AJ and Haley up. Is Haley here? Hallie, oh, sorry. That's why you asked.
The words for our chalice lighting this morning are, we light our chalice to mark the sacred hour as we gather in this beautiful historic sanctuary, both in body and spirit. We connect to the many generations that have come here to find the divine. Let us join our hearts and find the holy in our relationship to each other. It is time to share worship together.
And now I'd like to invite you to rise as you are able for the affirmation of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is good. This is our heart, to dwell together in peace, to speak the truth in love, and to help one another.
The opening words are, "Yes, There's No Binary" by David Breeden. The road not taken is not a fork. That's too simple a thought, flipping some coin. Either or, no, it's not this or that, no or yes. It's nor, neither, and all of the above and more. The road taken goes every way at once. There, they, them. Go, now, live.
I'd now like to invite everyone to rise as they are able and join us in our opening hymn, number 1053 in the Teal hymnal, How Could Anyone? glad you could join us. And now is the time in our service for the sharing of joys and sorrows, those matters great and small that touch us, our families, and those we love. And if anybody has a joy or sorrow who is online, you can type it into the chat and Beth will relay it to everybody. And now I'd like to have everyone take a moment of silence.
Today we have a special collection in honor of Pride Month for a special project, the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people. The organization works to save young lives by providing support through free and confidential suicide prevention and crisis intervention programs on platforms where young people spend their time. Through federal, state, and local action, the Trevor Project also advocates for the rights and futures of LGBTQ young people through legislation, litigation, and coalition building. Today, if you would like to make a specific donation, write a check to First Parish and note the Trevor Project in the memo line. Thank you all very much for your treasures.
One missionary
invite you to rise in body or in spirit for hymn number 170, We Are a Gentle, Angry People.
We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. Justice-seeking people. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. A land of many colors. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. Gay and straight together. We are gay and straight together when we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together and we are singing, singing for our lives.
Thank you, Tony. So I should probably warn you that whenever you see that I'm going to be doing something with the service, it's probably going to involve some type of activity where you all have to work. And this is no different. So today we heard about Wiwa, who was a two-spirit indigenous Zuni person, and we heard about intersectionality and the origins of intersectionality. And one thing that I think we are all aware of is we support Black Lives Matter, we support gay rights, we support indigenous people's rights, women's rights, but they're all us, right? I mean, those are all individual identities, but really they overlap in so many ways. So social identities are called that because our society influences how we categorize others using these identities. And if you look on the back of your sheet, you have a handout. You'll see here examples of different identities, identity groups, and these, you find that you can say your own identity, you can claim your own identity. Sometimes that's not always possible. Sometimes someone identifies you for you, and it might not be necessarily how you see yourself. And sometimes we assume an identity of somebody, but we don't necessarily know, which is why we have pronouns on our name tags. And this exercise is really to explore how we see ourselves and understand the complexities that are in others. So keep in mind, while we do this, which I'll explain to you in a minute, which identities you see as marginalized and privileged. All right. So I'm actually going to give you a few minutes. The front side is the identity wheel, and this is a social identity wheel. And you'll see different areas where you can write in how you identify. And so there's race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, under religious or spiritual affiliation. I mean, I put in UU, Jewish, and librarian, because that's spiritual in a sense to me. It's a calling. So if you could take about 5 minutes and fill out the front of this, the wheel, and you can use the examples in the back, or you can use your own as well. So. There should be pencils in all the different pews if you need one. A few more seconds. All right, now I'd like to offer everybody an opportunity to think about the questions that are on the front of this, on the wheel. Identities you think about most often, identities you think about least often, your own identities and that you would like to learn more about, identities you have the strongest effect on you, on how you perceive yourself, identities that have the greatest effect on how others perceive yourself. And then, so take a couple seconds to think about that, and then I'd like to pass the mic around and have us all share with each other answers to any of these questions. We don't have to necessarily go in order. And I also want to say, come fall, I believe we're going to be doing a second part of this where we're going to be talking about privilege. And there's another wheel where we can see where our privilege lies, and we can talk about how the different marginalized people are affected by identity in the world. So look forward to that. And you can probably tell my voice, I've had like 4 hours of sleep. Last night was graduation. I'm realizing I'm talking really slowly. So is there anybody who would like to share? And it can be, did anybody find an identity that they thought about most often?
Thank you. The identity that I thought about most often, I guess it's socioeconomic status. Yeah, I'm one of the peasants. Well, I think about life chances, and it takes a lot. You need a lot of resiliency to try
try to escape from the socioeconomic status, you might say. And that's not to say I've had I've had that resiliency. But the identity that I think least often is physical emotional development disability. Now, I do attend 12-step meetings. I do attend peer-to-peer meetings with mental illness, but I'm kind of putting that on the side. I'm not letting that be a hindrance. Well, I'm trying not to let that be a hindrance to my progress. There's a principle that in NAMI that states, we reject stigma. So I think that's a good principle to follow, and it's like shedding a snakeskin. I don't have to wear that stigma. Number 3. Okay. Yeah, I'll just let that go. I'll pass.
What was that? The first one? Sure. The first one that I think about most often is disability, because I have chronic pain and mental health issues, and I'm trying to work around them to become more employable. So, least often, I'd say socioeconomic status. I don't really think about that much. I would like to learn more about national origins, and how I perceive myself most is by my spirituality, and how I think has the greatest effect on how others see you. As I'd say race, I think sometimes people might look at me as or I hope people would not look at me as like the type of white oppressor, because I don't want that. But I think some people do, and that's troubling to me. As you know, I'd like to see everyone come together, I guess, and through all of this, through all of these statuses, we're all people.
Thank you very much. Would anyone else like to share? Yep, Stefan.
I just want to comment on the 5th of these 5 questions, which is identities that have the greatest effect on how others perceive you. And I find that with people who don't know me, like all of you do, the identities by which people tend to judge me and others like me, and many other people, is age and race. I spend a lot of time online arguing about politics with people, and I all the time see, oh, all these old white men, when they all die and go away, then we can get rid of Trump. Well, let me tell you, I'm an old white man, and I don't think that way, and I don't like being categorized that way. So that's what I have to say about that. Thank you very much.
That's that. Who else would like to share some thoughts on identity?
Thank you. I've been known to be a bit of a smartass sometimes, so under race I put human. I am English and French and female, and my sex is female as well. I'm straight or heterosexual. I was born in Michigan, which, depending on where you live in this country, may be a different country. My first language is English. I do speak a couple of other ones. I have very severe arthritis, and I'm bipolar, which most people don't know that don't know me, because I hide it really well. And someone once said, I think it was Joan Rivers, said, you never ask a woman over 39 how old she is. I am in my early 70s. I consider myself very strong UU, even though I was raised Methodist, liberal Methodist, but I was raised Methodist. And, there's a lot of things that I identify myself as that aren't on here. And And I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a grandmother, I'm a pet owner. People laugh, but that's a really important part of my life. And people who know me know that. And I try not to think about myself as smart, but I am. You know, and, no, it's, and I am straight, and there's a lot, you know, but there's a lot more to me than even the questions on here, you know, and I think we all more complex than any kind of questionnaire can really let us answer.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah, I do want to say that this is the this is the social identity wheel. Yes. There's also a personal identity wheel, which would be familial identities in that. So maybe in the fall we can do that as well. I think we're all very complex individuals. Yeah. Is there anybody else? So, as Karen said, we are complex individuals, and the fact, I'll go back to this one, and the fact that we can't always see what's on the inside or how somebody sees themselves, or even if we can, maybe we're still wrong. But it's just something to keep in mind when we talk about social justice and movements that we support. It's something that I've been thinking about quite a lot, that, you know, this is the Welcoming Congregation Renewal Committee, and my feeling is, yes, I understand why we would need a renewal to look at all the new ways of thinking in the world, but at the same time, we should never have stopped. And so that's something that I don't like using the word renewal. I think this should just be the Welcoming Congregation Committee, and we should keep doing these things. And it was designed for LGBTQ people, but that's so limiting. And I think I keep thinking about how it intersects with different races and socioeconomic conditions, and I think I like to look at it a little bit broader, and I would like to pass that on to you as an option as well. So, thank you. All right. And now what do we do? What do we do? Yeah, I'm getting the order service. So now we have a closing hymn. It is 1008 from the Teal Hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. Please rise as you are able.
And we're going to do the first and second verses, okay? When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place,
And our benediction for today, a vision for Unitarian Universalism in a multicultural world. And this is adapted from the UUA Leadership Council. With the humility and courage born of our history, we are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all souls are welcome as blessings and the human family lives whole and reconciled.
Please join me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
I am what I am, and what I am is my own special creation. So come take a look, give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. I am what I am. I don't want praise. I don't want pity. I bang my own drum. Some think it's noise. Some think it's pretty. And so what if I love each sparkle, love each bangle? Why not try to see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own deck. Sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces. There's one life and there's no return and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can say,